Discipline is important. Gives them, just puts them on the right track. You know, I still want to let them know at the same time that you know, this is the right and this is the wrong. Discipline to me is basically teaching your child virtues that they're going to need to succeed.
I'm really trying to work on making her know this is what is acceptable, what this is not acceptable, and give her room to grow in that. Give her room to make mistakes.
Discipline is important. Gives them, just puts them on the right track. But you know, I still want to let them know at the same time that, you know, this is the right and this is the wrong. I use the word no, and he starts to understand that and what that means.
I think it's important because I don't want him to grow to be no knucklehead. You know, go out in these streets, do some of the things that actually we used to do back in the day, but see, I want him to, you know what I'm saying, to be the best he can be. I don't want him to be like one of these, or end up in jail, or a knucklehead, or just doing something wrong. It ain't right. You know what I'm saying? I want him to take the right road, not the wrong.
You have to lay out the rules. You have to define the rules because, you know, we can't automatically assume that they understand what's right and what's wrong. And that's our job as parents to teach them that. And they're not going to learn it in 1 year. They're not going to learn it in just, you know, it's something that you could constantly working on.
There were times before we got the schedule going, before we established ourselves to say, look, by this certain time we need to be eating, we need to have homework done, we need to be in the bed. The kids were up to 10:30. You know, that's not good because they still have to wake up, and then not having a schedule for the evening means you have no schedule for the morning. So we were late all the time. So I had to discipline myself to wake up at 6 every morning, to have dinner prepared by 6 every evening, to have the kids in the bed no later than 10 every evening. It's very important. If not, nothing to go, and you'll be doing 5 different things, you know, off schedule, nothing to go like it should. And the kids pretty much run the house when you don't have a set schedule.
We'll get in the store, they'll see something they want. We might be in there for maybe 15 to 20 minutes just to run in and get milk. Oh, well, Mommy, can we have the cereal? Can we have this? Or they're putting it in the cart. Wait a minute. Didn't I say no? If I said no, that's it. Well, Mom, but where's the but coming from? I said no. And I mean, there are times where I want to raise my voice, rant and rave. You just can't do it, especially not with a 3-year-old. Who's going to listen to you hollering? They'll be intimidated, cry, but it won't sink in. You take the calm approach. You just talk to them.
You have to be consistent. You have to be consistent and let them know that you're serious. Don't let them get away with it. Time out. We are not going any further until we do this time out. Do the time out, you're all right. 2 minutes of your time, calm down, reflect on what you did.
I discipline sternly. I know that came from my childhood. My father disciplined us sternly. I guess I'm hard on them because they're boys. How you spell Raj, Jermaine?
R-I-D-E.
I'm hard on them. I'm very, very hard on them. Homework, discipline-wise, they get away with nothing. Because either you catch them now, or when I'm looking up to them in 10 years, they'll be running this house.
There's a lot of things that even my stepfather told me I would never tell my boys. Never, even if it gets to that point that they do some of the things that I probably did to my stepfather. And that was because we didn't have that communication level. I'm more patient with my boys than she is. I have a lot of patience. And that comes a lot with working with clients and customers at work. You have to be patient, you have to listen. So when I spend time with my boys and I discipline, I do listen to them. I don't necessarily tell them what I say is always the law. So I give them a chance to speak, and we go from there.
You got to start when they little and let them grow on up. You can't wait till they halfway grown and then start trying to raise them.
Okay, let me finish. Can I put on your shoes?
Okay.
Okay, and then we're gonna leave, okay?
I like to use just be verbal with him and talk to him and ask him why is he doing it, so he can, start to learn and understand exactly what's going on.
She knows after I tell her no, well, you can't do that, Jordan, because you'll hurt yourself. She'll pretty much understand, but she's only 3 years old. Some things she may not just understand yet, but she'll pretty much know that's why I was telling her, because I don't want her to hurt herself.
The structure and the way you discipline has a way to do it, and that the way you work with your child and to show them that, the consequences and the rewards afterwards.
She feels like she accomplishes when she does do what she's supposed to, and right there, that's her reward. I'm a big girl now. I'm taking care of my book. I put my stuff away. I, straightened up. I put my shoes under the bed. But she had to learn that.
I will spank my child, but that's only if it's like if she does something dangerous, like she sticks something inside the socket. I have to let her know that definitely that's a no-no, because sometimes just saying no or you can't do that is not enough.
My household, we don't hit. It's just no physical contact. That doesn't happen. Children mock, and they do what you do, what they're trained to do in the house. And when you're disciplining your child, it's supposed to be a teaching experience. So it shouldn't get to the point where there's a hitting. I
kind of actually put my little bass in my voice there a little bit. He starts to understand what's going on. But he tends not to listen to Tony sometimes, and I put that little voice on there, and he kind of brightens up a little bit.
I'm just gonna honestly say be patient, because right there, that's what helps. You gotta count to 10 before you react. So say for instance, you tell her no, she don't listen, just count to 10. While you counting to 10, try and figure another alternative as opposed to what you really want to do. So that's kind of what I suggest, because it has helped me a lot, definitely. And just remember, kids are kids.
Now, if you did something wrong, what do you think your mom and dad should do to you?
Put me on punishment.
And what is punishment?
Don't play games forever.
And does your daddy ever say no? Why does he say no?
Oh, my dad don't never say no to me.
He never says no? So you can ask Daddy for that Spider-Man toy, he would buy it for you.
And he did.
Do you ever do anything you're not supposed to do?
No.
Why?
Because I said nothing.
Do you ever do things that you're not supposed to do?
Yes.
Like what?
Touch stuff.
Like what? What kind of things do you touch that you're not supposed to touch?
I touched the fish tank when I'm supposed to not touch it.
If I asked your mommy, does Brandon ever do things he's not supposed to do? What would she say?
No.
She would say no? And what about Daddy, if I asked Daddy that?
He would say no too.
Oh yeah? I'm gonna ask him.
Yeah, I did something wrong.
Did you?
Yeah.
What'd you do?
I fall down on the floor and I done did the ball.
Are you ever bad? Do you ever act up? Never.
Do you ever let her know that you're angry, that you can't go outside? What do you do? Show us what you do.
I'm blind.
What your mom and daddy do to you?
No.
Oh, you didn't tell them?
No.
We watch TV. That's all we can do.
If she wanted to watch a movie, she did, because that's why she wanted popcorn or something, and that's why I don't have any, but I do.